You know, CoastLife, we bring in all kinds of people to join us on the couch. We bring them from far and wide, but sometimes I don't have to go that far. I can just shout at the guys on the other side of the divider in our office. Today we've got our morning crew with us. We've got Grace Eckerle, our brand new morning anchor, and of course we've got Matt Pensick, who is always here, always great. Couple of things I'm going to get to you in a second, Grace, because we got to introduce you fully to the world out there. But I wanted to start with Matt, because you've got a new talent joining you on the desk. You're doing the morning thing. I've done the morning thing. It is a change in lifestyle to do that. So what advice do you give when you've got new people joining you?
That's a big question.
Yeah, I think the first is acclimating your body to this big shift of the day. Normally, people have that 8 to 5 type of schedule. Where Grace and I, we're waking up 2, 1:30, maybe even before that. So it's just your whole body's changed, going to bed early, allowing yourself that time. And then once you're in it, it's a hit the ground running situation. You know that, Charlie.
You just go.
You go. So it's sort of just finding the efficiencies, managing your time. I have internal deadlines that I want to hit, that I need to be at. Because we do have these little tasks that we have to do to get the newscast on the air. It might not, one individually might not seem a lot, but you add a couple, 5, 6 of those up, and all of a sudden it's time to get on the air, and you got to be there or not.
Well, and the thing that our viewers may not understand or may not know, there's not a lot of people in the building when the morning crew comes in. It's you two, and you've got a producer down in Salisbury, and that's kind of it. Or you might have one reporter.
Right.
Like it is bare bones putting it all together. So if you guys get behind, that's all of it.
Yeah, and you have an immovable deadline, so you have to make it work.
Gotta be ready.
Normally we do.
Now, Grace, I want to get to you because I don't think we've had a chance to really let you talk to the people at home. Tell them your story. Where are you from? So, where are we coming from? How did we end up here at Coast TV?
It's a fantastic question. So I grew up in Bucks County, which is just 30 minutes north of Philadelphia. And then, like most kids that age, I went to college at Penn State, and Matt and I can have something to bond over, right?
We are lousy with Penn Staters here. We got a lot of them.
So I joined the cult up there. I enjoyed it. I went in actually my freshman year thinking I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, and it was also during COVID, my senior year of high school. So I was like, where do I want to go? And I only applied to Penn State. Applied into their atmospheric sciences and meteorology, thinking that I'm going to be a weather girl and that I'm going to go wear my fun outfits and start presenting stuff because I'd be good at that, right? Anyways, so then I started taking the math classes, and I thought,
they are a little tricky.
I think I've seen this film before, and I don't like this very much. And then it got to one day, it was a Friday, and of course I wanted to go out with my friends. It was 3 p.m., and I was in this meteorology lab and sitting there in the back of the classroom, and then there was this, online homework platform where you could see your grades, and you could see the lowest score in the class and the highest score in the class in the middle, and these kids were sitting in front of me. It was 3 boys, and they were like, who got a 3 out of 30 on that assignment?
Oh, no.
And I'm in the back row, I raised my hand, I'm like, that was me. And so I packed up my stuff and I walked over to the College of Communications and I said, I need to switch. And they were like, come on home. Anyway, so I switched over, and ever since then, that was my freshman year, everything went according to plan, if not better. And I had so much fun switching over. I didn't have to take the math classes again, thank goodness. And here I am now. I met Matt up at a career fair at Penn State, and he swayed me to come down here because I just thought it was beautiful down here. And I think that this area is full of people who are so passionate and who care. And it's just been a really great time to be able to come down here and experience what life is like on the peninsula.
Well, now that you're here, now that you've gotten your feet wet, now you're on air, you're anchoring in the mornings, you're with Matt, you guys have Elisa out in the field doing reports. What has been the biggest, maybe, surprise about joining the professional journalism world?
There's such a difference, I think, between people's careers, but then also like a vocation. There's, your career and your job title and whatever comes with it, but there's also why you do what you do. And I think that I feel like I've grown up and I care a lot about people, and I care a lot about animals, and I care a lot about the community and things happening in the world. And I think that people go into this industry because you have to care an awful lot about things to be able to go and make that your job, is to tell people about it, and that's what it is. And I think that surprised me, is that caring so much about things is what will get you places, and what you can use, and you can use your voice, and it can be meaningful, and you can tell the stories of people who otherwise wouldn't have the means to.
It turns out when you actually do care about people, it's a lot easier to then bring those stories forward. One of the things I wanted to ask you, Matt, now that you guys have sort of a full complement on the morning show again, it sort of changes the calculus of what you're able to do, because you've got Grace on the desk now, Elisa's out in the field getting morning stories. What is having that extra reporter that can go out in the morning and do things, what does that do for the way you guys cover news?
We're getting back to where we once were, Charlie, with Elisa being able to give that live, up-to-date, fresh news that we're lacking for that for several months. And then also it allows us, in those breaking news situations, when they do arise, we can pivot, and Elisa would be able to go cover that for us as well.
It changes the way you can cover news when you have people in the field. And Grace, have you been through any yet of the breaking news situations where suddenly everything's changing as you're on the desk and you've got to kind of figure out how to get the people at home the information they need?
I actually do have a great story about that, and it was just a few weeks ago, which was at the start of my anchoring career, and it was our midday show at 11, and it was 10:52, and some news came in when a truck was found on one of the Lewis beaches full of guns and ammo, and we were like, oh my goodness, well, this has to be at the top of the show. So we had no graphics, we had no information besides the fact that we got this press release. And so I go to the desk, I'm getting mic'd up, and we have the door open to the studio, which people are, bustling in and out. So that's already a risk that you're running. And Elisa comes to the door as I'm reading the headlines, and I'm saying, good morning, thank you for joining us. I'm Grace Eckerle, breaking news, da-da-da-da-da. And she's at the door, and she's trying to get my attention. She's waving, and she was like, something was wrong in the script, and there was no time to get into the system and change it in the prompter. She's waving, and she was like, it was at this time. And she handled it like a pro, because that's what she is. She's very, very clean cut, very professional when it comes to that stuff. So even just seeing her out of my peripheral, and she was able to tell me, and all I had to do was kind of a quick glance and then back of the prompter and deliver it. And then at the end of it, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that even just happened. I was like, oh, breaking news experience. This is crazy, but it's exciting. And it's, being able to be the first to get that news out to people, especially at that time of day. And in the mornings, even more important, as you're getting ready and people are heading out the door, it's like you got to deliver that quickly and concisely as to what people need to know.
Well, I think it's a great point there, and I think that our morning team is really strong here on Coast TV. Guys, you do a fantastic job. Matt, you always do a fantastic job.
Appreciate that, Charlie.
Grace, you have just been getting better every single day since you got here, and you started at a great place. So
Thank you.
We really love what you guys are doing in the morning. If you are at home, it is the best way to wake up every day. Watch Coast TV in the morning, grab your little donut or breakfast and flip these guys on, see what's going on the day, and they're going to keep bringing you the very best of news here on Delmarva. We're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. There's more Coast Life after this.